Yeah, so I'll start. I'll restart, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Welcome to GHRC's webinar. So before I start into the session or we get into the session, I'll just give a brief about what Global HR Community is. So Global HR Community is a networking platform built for business leaders, entrepreneurs, HR professionals, students. It's a community platform basically, and we promote excellence through people in individual, organization, and societies. And we are proud to say that we have grown to a community of 1,800 people in a short span of 8 months, and also a community of 6,000 on the GHRC on the LinkedIn. And we are honored with the India 5,000 Top MSME Award, ranked among the top 10 HR community in the world by LinkedIn. So I would request my teammate Sanchana to share a video of the GHRC portal. You'll get a brief idea of what it is.
Welcome to GHRC, a global digital community platform for people managers. At GHRC, we believe in 3 guiding principles: connect, learn, and grow. Through meaningful connections, continuous learning, and opportunities for growth, we support people managers worldwide in making an impact within their organizations. Under Discover, GHRC offers personalized assessments to help you answer the question, "Who am I?" Our assessments guide you toward a deeper understanding of your strengths, areas for growth, and how you can lead more effectively. In Connect, GHRC brings together a global network of people managers, thought leaders, and innovators. Through our platform, you can build lasting relationships, exchange ideas, and collaborate with peers. In Learn, GHRC provides access to the GHRC Academy and a comprehensive upskilling platform featuring 1,800+ skills and 150,000 courses across all domains. GHRC supports your journey to grow through our job and internship opportunities, vibrant forums, and engaging gamification features. Connect with peers, explore new roles, and earn rewards while advancing your career and achieving your goals. With Contribute, GHRC enables you to give back and make an impact. Engage in collaborative research, participate in hackathons, and share your expertise through coaching and mentorship. Let's hear what our community members say about us.
If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So this is the essence of the GHRC, Global HR Community.
We have been a part of GHRC for a while, and it's a vibrant community of like-minded professionals, practitioners. So it's been great to be a part of this journey for the past couple of months, and looking forward to learning and sharing, having a story of growth with GHRC. Yeah.
I'm really grateful and thankful to be a part of this community. So unlike many communities I've seen, one thing that really caught my attention here is you talk about being a good human being, you talk about people first, and everything else follows from that.
So I feel GHRC is the right community and right platform for everyone to explore further, beyond you, so that you can learn and grow within the organization, or within as an individual you'll grow personally. So that's what I see GHRC.
So, why should you join GHRC? As a member, you gain access to a global network of people managers, comprehensive assessments, cutting-edge resources in the GHRC Academy, job and internship listings, an active community, and opportunities to contribute through research and mentorship. GHRC is designed to support your career journey at every step. Join the global HR community today and take the next step in your leadership journey. Together, we're transforming people management worldwide.
Thank you, Sanchana. So now we can move ahead with the networking session that we do usually on the GHRC before the webinar. So I want all of you, the participants, to introduce yourselves so we can get to know each other. We can start with Neha, Bhargava.
Sorry, I missed your question.
No, so before we start the webinar, usually we do this networking session where we get to know all the participants. So
Okay.
maybe you just introduce yourself and drop your contact details in the chat box later.
Yes, definitely. Hi, this is Neha here. I'm from Mumbai. I am into HR from last 2 decades. I worked with an event management company.
Thank you so much, Neha.
Anybody else? Shankar Raja?
Yeah. Greetings, folks. The name is Shankar. Been into some various industries, into sustainability consulting, been a people's managers in the last few decades. Wonderful to be on board.
Brings you to this webinar or to GHRC?
People interactions with people, interfaces with the people community. I'm also supporting a couple of colleges as part of what I do. So it's just good, Ramesh, to be part of the network.
Get connected, Shankar. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Anyone else? I see Madhukar.
Yeah, hi. This is Madhukar. Been in HR for the last 2 decades. Currently, I work for a company called Max Linear Technologies. I head the HR operations function. Ex-Schneider again, spent about 13 years with Schneider and had the privilege of working with Ranjan and Trubhi as well.
Oh, R. Madhukar. Okay. Madhukar Gowda.
Yes, Ranjan.
Nice to
Hi, Madhu. So nice to see you.
Hey, Trubhi. Same here.
Hi. I saw your name on the registration. I'm like, oh my God, I get to chat with you.
Wonderful.
Neha or Devendra? Samuel. Yes, Samuel.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Samuel. I've been working for the last 2 decades, more than that. And I work for a business consulting and advisory company. And at the same time, I also co founded a not for profit organization in 2023. Yeah, thanks.
Samuel, we've heard of work-life balance. So you're watching a movie and attending the webinar.
No, actually, that is from one of the, that is so the not for profit organization that I referred to, Wings of Wisdom Foundation. So we did basically a workshop for the government of Punjab. So this picture is from that session.
You're just pulling your leg. Rishita, do you want to say a few words about yourself? Okay, our own team members, yeah. So maybe Ritika, you can start with yourself so that people know you.
Yeah. So as I did tell my name earlier as well, Ritika Halakatti here, and I work in GHRC from almost a year, and I've been taking care of the HR and the events that happen in GHRC. Thank you.
Sinchana.
Hi everyone, Sinchana here. I have been working with GHRC for past 1 year as well, and I take care of the platform there, and I have done my master's in data science. Thank you.
So Tribly, how is it you transition from HR to parenting and Montessori and
I think every part of your life journey prepares you for something that you don't know. And you know how I transitioned from HR to business, right? And I think it was some divine plan that I get an exposure to how to handle a business, how to do product management. And then I became a mother and I realized this is the hardest job that anybody could do. I had newfound respect for my mother, and I have 2 daughters, right? So I have parented in India and I have done parenting in Australia, and it's different for how people parent in India vis-a-vis how people parent in Western countries. And I did have some life situations when I first became a mother, and that's why it was significantly harder for me the first time around. And that's when I started learning about parenting, because I'm like, I don't have support, I don't know how to do this. So I went to the traditional way, but a lot of the stuff that I was reading and researching was not resonating with my core values. And then I chanced upon Montessori, which did resonate with my core values. And I have been a Montessori parent ever since. I follow the philosophy with my children. My children also go to Montessori kids. So I'm like a Montessorian, as they say, if somebody who follows Montessori for the last 10 years now. And you also know, Ranjan, right? Your wife is a Montessori teacher. So it's not what our traditional education sets up children for in a cookie cut fashion. And I think every individual has a unique potential. Children come to the world with a unique potential, but parents are unable to do that because we are so hassled, and those early years are very hard. And that's when I decided to do this. And I think that's where my whole experience as an HR, as a business, as a Montessori parent has come together. And here I am.
To hear your story, Tribly. And so happy to see you grow.
Thank you.
So, welcome to GHRC's webinar, Tribly. We are thrilled to have you for the missing piece, supporting working parents, the key to unlocking productivity, loyalty, and growth. So, Tribly, she is an passionate advocate for workplace well-being, mental health, and inclusive growth. Tribly, over to you. You can start the webinar.
I'm just checking if you can hear me. Okay. Thank you, Ritika, Ranjan, and the GHRC team. Firstly, I want to thank everybody for making time from their busy lives to come and listen to me. I am immensely grateful to you for sharing your precious time with me, and I will do my best to make your time worthwhile. Now, I hope you have entered inside the slider quiz for us to keep this session interactive. I have put the QR code here if you have not joined already. Ritika has also put that in the URL in the chat. So I am going to put the first question to begin with. Can you see the question? You have 20 seconds to answer. As per American Psychological Association, what is the percentage of new mothers experiencing stress, anxiety, and depression? All right, I'm going to reveal the answer, and we have something called as a leaderboard. So depending on how quickly and how accurate your answer is, you would be featuring somewhere on the leaderboard. Okay, another question before we jump into the presentation. As per Sleep Health Foundation, what is the percentage of new fathers who report sleep deprivation? Thank you for responding. Well, there is a traditional saying that goes, it takes a village to raise a child. But in today's nuclear family structures and fragmented world, new parents often find themselves without a support system. And this challenge is further compounded for working parents who must juggle professional responsibilities with the demanding role of raising children. The absence of a robust support network can lead to immense stress, fatigue, and this makes the journey of parenthood extremely daunting. As HR professionals, you are uniquely positioned to be the bridge between employee needs and the organization's strategic priorities. Because when it comes to supporting working parents during the critical early years phase, you as HR, you have the power to influence the change that drives both employee well-being and business success. By now, you already know my name is Tribly D'Souza. I am the founder of Nino Mondo. Nino Mondo is Italian for a child's world. It is a platform that connects new parents with a community of peers, experts, and resources, providing the village-like support they need to thrive. In my professional career, I was an HR BP too, and I was tapped on the shoulder to come to the business side of things, and I have been in business and marketing after that. I am also a director on the Melbourne Montessori College Board, and in my not-so-private life, I am a full-time working mother of 2 beautiful daughters who are the cause and reason of why you're seeing this presentation today. I'm also an amateur gardener, and that is why I wish to begin today's presentation with this gardening parable that is very close to my heart. I'm going to read it verbatim for you to do justice to it. A farmer went out to sow some seeds. As he was scattering the seeds, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. Some sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they were withered because they had no root. Other seeds fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still, other seeds fell on good soil, where they produced a crop, 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. I love this parable because in a crisp and short way, it draws an analogy of how we are like seeds. The parable highlights how, depending on the conditions of the soil, seeds either grow or wither, and how, depending on the nurturing and support we receive from the time we are born, whether from our family and the people we work with, we grow or wither. Now, I want you to have a look at your Slido and answer another question for me. According to Ernst & Young, which is EY, what is the percentage of parents who report insufficient support while bringing up children? Five seconds to go. So what really happens in the absence of care? Without care, we are like seeds sown in rocky or thorny soil. The absence of nurturing leads to increased stress, anxiety, and depression. We may face difficulty in forming healthy relationships because our ability to connect with others, lead, and collaborate is hindered. And the absence of care also impacts our ability to bring our best selves to work in life. And without empathy, understanding, and emotional support, we can struggle to engage meaningfully in personal relationships and professional environments. Our capacity for teamwork and leadership becomes limited, and our emotional intelligence can get stunted. But why do we even need care and connection? Because we are humans. At our core, we are social creatures. We are hardwired for connection. Our need for care is deeply embedded in our biology and psychology. There's nothing we can do about it, because neuroscience has revealed that the care we receive plays a critical role in shaping our emotional resilience, brain development, and the ability to form meaningful relationships. When we feel supported and understood, we become capable of achieving personal growth and can contribute meaningfully to the world around us. And therefore, it's not just a nicety, but a fundamental human necessity. In its absence, we wither. In its presence, we thrive and we bear fruit, and we become the best versions of ourselves. Now, we know that, at least by now, that care is good and necessary. But what happens to the person who is giving this care on a constant basis? There is a term in science and mental health called carer's fatigue. Carer's fatigue is known as, or also known as, caregiver burnout. It occurs when an individual responsible for caregiving, whether for a child, elderly relative, or someone with special needs, experiences overwhelming stress and exhaustion. And it stems from constant emotional, physical, and mental effort required to care for others, often without sufficient rest or support and care for the carer. Now, imagine you have an employee who is experiencing carer's fatigue because they are the primary or even secondary carer of someone whilst holding a job at your organization. Carer's fatigue not only diminishes an employee's ability to perform, but it places strain on their relationships with colleagues and managers. And this strain disrupts team dynamics because workload needs to be adjusted. It reduces overall productivity, and it creates a work environment where tension and miscommunication can become frequent. Now, imagine a manager who is dealing with an employee who is experiencing carer's fatigue. You see, managers, while well-intentioned, often lack the tools, training, or flexibility to provide meaningful support to struggling employees with carer's fatigue. The additional emotional and operational demands placed on them, such as redistributing work, addressing team frustrations, or even finding ad hoc solutions, can lead to the manager's version of carer's fatigue. Over time, this constant juggling of responsibilities without effective support can diminish a manager's morale and efficiency. The manager is going to feel overburdened. Now, imagine the manager comes to the HR for help and advice. Look, for HR professionals, addressing employee challenges is part of the job. I understand that. But they often find themselves in a repetitive cycle of addressing individual cases without long-term resolution. This reactive mode can lead to frustration and fatigue for the HR, as HR take on the emotional burden of these conversations, while grappling with the knowledge that their current frameworks may not fully address the issue. And over time, this creates a cumulative strain on everyone involved, trying to help alleviate the very carer's fatigue. Carer's fatigue is a vicious cycle. And at workplace, this can get into a real problem quickly when you as managers or HRs are experiencing carer's fatigue while taking care of employees who are experiencing carer's fatigue. And it isn't a personal issue. It's a workplace challenge with ripple effects that touches employees, managers, and HR professionals alike. I'm going to ask you to bring your Slido now for the next set of questions. According to WHO, which is World Health Organization, what is the percentage of mothers who return to work too soon after childbirth due to inadequate parental leave? Okay. Next question. According to EY, what is the percentage of working mothers who consider leaving their jobs due to inadequate support for managing work and family responsibilities? Three, two, one. At this stage, you can say almost all of my workforce is facing burnout or carer's fatigue of some sort. And I agree, that is true. Life is hard for everyone, and we can't solve every problem. But we can solve a significant part of it. So which part is it? And that's working parents with very young children. Now, why this demographic? It's because in many organizations, parents of young children represent a substantial portion of the workforce. So globally, 70% of parents with children under 18 are in the labor force, which means a significant proportion of your employees, probably you too, are likely navigating parenthood alongside careers. And parents of young children are often in their late 20s to early 40s. and age range considered the most productive in terms of skills, experience, and career growth. And supporting this dynamic ensures that your most valuable talent remains engaged and committed. Employees in their 30s and early 40s are typically identified as high potential talent for leadership roles as well. But this is also when many employees become new parents, which leads to career disruptions if they are unsupported. So by addressing their challenges, you as an HR can retain and nurture future leaders. Plus, supporting working parents is a strategic way to meet diversity goals, especially for women. By creating a culture that supports parents, you help retain talented women who might otherwise step away from their careers. Plus, losing a mid-career professional can cost organizations, let's say, a lot of money when considering recruitment, onboarding, and productivity loss. So supporting parents during this phase will reduce this cost significantly. Now I'm going to bring up the Slido quiz again. According to Harvard Business Review, what is the percentage improvement in productivity reported when parents feel supported?
Tripoli, can you just put your presentation on a slideshow?
It is on a slideshow. It's on Canva. %22 improvement in productivity. Again, you could say I can't support all my working parents. Almost 60 to 80% of my workforce are parents, and it is true. And before I answer that question, I want to acknowledge that caregiving responsibilities come in many forms. Caring for elderly parents, supporting a spouse with health issues, or even managing special needs within the family. All of these are valid and deserving of support. But today I'm asking you to focus on working parents with children in the age group of 0 to 2 years. And here's why. Because in the 0 to 2 year window, that period is uniquely challenging. Parents are not just caregivers. They are the architects of their child's future and well-being. The first 2 years of a child's life are foundational for their emotional, physical, and cognitive development. And involvement of parents emotionally, physically, and cognitively is high too. They say 80% of a child's brain is formed by age 2. And unlike other caregiving roles, parenting during this stage is relentless. A baby's needs don't follow a schedule. They're constant, urgent, and often physically exhausting. Sleepless nights, feeding schedules, like I said, they dominate an employee's life as a parent. And while caregiving for other dependents may sometimes involve shared responsibilities with siblings or professional services, parenting in the early years often falls squarely on the shoulders of the parents. Also, unlike older children, babies in the 0 to 2 age range have non-negotiable needs, and they don't have emotional and reasoning maturity. So like I said, sleepless nights, feeding schedules, teething, illnesses, these are common challenges, and they leave parents physically and emotionally drained. Many fathers experience silent disengagement because they're sleep deprived when they come to work, and there is incremental home pressure, but they are silently disengaged, and it's very hard to pick on that. And that's why, like I said, we focus on the parents in that, with children in that age range, because that's where we apply the Parental principle. That is by focusing on supporting the employees who are embarking on their parenting journey for the first time or have children in the 0 to 2 year range, and not all working parents in your organization. It is high leverage action that delivers outsized benefits. And why? Because supporting this specific group, it reduces burnout, not just for parents, but also for their managers who now no longer need to compensate for lost productivity. It also creates a culture of understanding, empathy, and inclusion. And you are able to retain and empower young, high potential employees. You strengthen your talent pipeline and you ensure long-term organizational growth. Plus, when you focus on working parents during the early years, you are addressing one of the most acute and underserved needs within the workforce. And it, like I said, just doesn't benefit parents, it alleviates the ripple effects on their managers and teams and benefits the whole organization. Let me bring up the Slido again for the next question. According to Harvard Business Review, what is the percentage improvement in retention when parents feel supported due to family-friendly policies and programs? That was a tongue twister. %50 improvement in retention. Next question. What percentage improvement in job satisfaction among employees who feel they can balance family and work?
You're giving tricky questions, Triply.
Yeah, I want to see how data-driven HR you are.
25, 26, 27.
26% improvement in job satisfaction. So, like I said, while I acknowledge that other caregiving roles are important, the urgency and scale of challenges faced by new parents makes this group the highest leverage area for action. And supporting this group delivers an outsized ROI in the form of retention, reduced turnover, and the associated costs of hiring and training replacements. Now, at this point, you could wonder, why do I need to introduce another program to support new parents? Isn't our employee assistance program, which is EAP, already designed to address challenges like these? And it is a fair question, and EAPs are indeed well-intentioned. They exist to support employees through personal and professional challenges. However, before I answer the however, I will bring up the Slido again, and I want to gauge if you know what is the effectiveness of EAP from an employee usage standpoint globally. And there are multiple sources who have done this investigation, but it's hard to say who did it, like Gallup did it or HBR, but like I said, multiple sources have investigated. Just take a guess. What is the percentage of employees using EAP services? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody got this right. This is amazing. Everybody knows how much the usage is, and I think that is quite. It's not nice to put it in simple terms that it's an amazing service that organizations make available. Some may do it out of tokenism, but it is still nonetheless a great service that is made available. But it's just sad that less than 5% of people use it. And that's why when you say, why can't my EAP do the job? Because EAPs won't work. Firstly, the usage is so low for EAP. And when it comes to carers fatigue, burnout, and the unique struggles of new parents, EAPs can fall short because EAPs are a last resort, a place to turn only in moments of crisis rather than a proactive resource. And when HR or managers recommend EAPs, there is no way to know whether the employee used the service or found it helpful because of the confidentiality inbuilt in it. And this lack of visibility makes it impossible to assess the program's effectiveness or measure its ROI on the employee who is facing carers fatigue. And EAPs are typically availed after the problems have escalated, when the employee is already experiencing burnout, disengagement, or even considering leaving the organization. They don't address the root cause of those challenges and not early enough to make a significant difference. And many employees avoid EAPs because they are perceived, or people might perceive them as being for serious problems or mental health crises. And for new parents, admitting they're struggling can feel like admitting they're failing, both as parents and as professionals. Plus, despite assurances, employees often worry about confidentiality when using EAPs. Even if they're vocal about them using it, there is an underlying concern that assessing or accessing these services could be viewed negatively by their peers or managers. And if an employee is referred to an EAP, their manager is often left in the dark about whether the underlying issues have been resolved or not. And HR professionals can recommend EAPs as the default solution, but because of the repetitive nature of these referrals, it leaves you as an HR feeling stuck in a reactive cycle, unable to implement any systemic change. And the most important thing of all is that new parents don't just need someone to talk to. They need actionable tools, strategies, and support systems that help them navigate today's modern day-to-day realities of caregiving. And that's why a destigmatized, proactive solution is needed to truly address the challenges faced by new parents and the ripple effects on managers and HR. A program that is proactive and preventive means instead of waiting for burnout to occur, organizations need programs that offer support from the very beginning of the parenting journey. And this ensures that employees feel cared for before issues escalate, reducing the need for reactive interventions like an EAP. And tailored and practical means having programs designed specifically for new parents that provide targeted resources like coaching, tools for time management, and guidance on emotional resilience that addresses their unique challenges. And these resources empower parents to feel confident and capable both at work and at home. And most importantly, destigmatized and celebratory, because unlike EAPs, which are often seen as a sign of struggle, program for new parents can be positioned as a benefit employees feel proud to access. And when employees see their organizations investing in their well-being during one of the most important phases of their life, it fosters loyalty, engagement, and a sense of belonging. Also, bear in mind that there is a cost of doing nothing. When organizations fail to adequately support working parents, especially during the early years, the impact extends far beyond the individual themselves. Replacing an employee can cost an organization a lot, depending on the role. And this includes the cost of recruiting, onboarding, training a new hire, loss of productivity during the transition period, and whatnot. And when an employee leaves, the responsibilities often fall onto the remaining team members. They create bottlenecks, delays, and increased workload for others. And this disrupts team dynamics and further reduces productivity. And when experienced employees leave, they take with them years of expertise, client relationships, and organizational IP that can't easily be replaced. Look, these are not new problems that you as HR are unaware of, but they can be avoided when it comes to employees who become new parents. I know many organizations pride themselves on having structured return to work plans, but these plans lose their effectiveness if employees return to work carrying unresolved fatigue and emotional stress. They may be physically present, but their mental and emotional capacity is diminished. And women especially are disproportionately affected by a lack of support for working parents, because losing talented women not only affects diversity goals, but it also weakens the overall talent pipeline. And in today's day and age, companies that fail to support working parents risk being seen as outdated and unsympathetic. And in a competitive talent market, this can make it harder to attract and retain high quality candidates. Now you see why carers fatigue is a vicious cycle. Your employees are stressed and eventually leave, teams become stressed, managers spend more time addressing issues reactively, and that takes their focus away from strategic priorities. And HR professionals remain caught in a loop of solving individual problems. The costs compound over time and productivity losses add up. And that's why a proactive care needs, you need to have care as a strategic imperative. It's not just a nice to have benefit, it's a strategic imperative for any organization that values productivity, retention, and culture. I will bring up Slido questions again at this stage. So what percentage of improvement in employee engagement was found by Gallup that have family-friendly initiatives. %25% improvement in employee engagement. Next question. Glassdoor found that companies which prioritize family-friendly policies and diversity see an improvement in DEI hiring by what percentage? %50% improvement in DEI hiring when organizations support their employees with family-friendly benefits and programs. Now that we know celebrity programs create a positive ripple effect, how can you go about doing that? How can you support your top talent with very young kids? At Nino Mondo, we have developed a program that addresses these challenges head-on. It's proactive, it's practical, and it is tailored specifically for working parents during the critical years. By providing the right tools and support, we help employees thrive and we help organizations build a culture of care that drives long-term success. Let me show you how. Here's what we offer as a part of our program. We have Montessori toys. They are educational toys, 45 high-quality, age-appropriate, wooden, not plastic educational toys, which are delivered quarterly, and they're aligned with the global Montessori curriculum to foster a child's development from the time of birth to preschool years. Then we have our Mindful Montessori Parenting Blueprint. It's a 2-year Montessori parenting course broken into 8 quarters. It offers practical tools for every stage of child development. We tell parents it's like investing the time they would to watch a Netflix movie at the beginning of every quarter, and the parent is set and empowered to support the child for that quarter, because in that age range, children go through a huge amount of change to be noticed on a quarter-to-quarter basis. And Montessori is a neuroscience-proven approach that coaches parents to nurture independence and responsibility in their child, and also helps them balance their career demands. Then we have monthly webinars from experts covering parenting strategies, career transitions, and well-being practices to help parents maintain peak mental health and productivity. Employees feel supported in every aspect of their lives, and that reduces stress and builds confidence. And we have access to a community of like-minded parents. Now, parenthood can feel isolating. I know that firsthand. If you've been a parent, you know how it is. And this group provides much needed connection and solidarity at that stage of your life. They receive membership in an exclusive community to share experiences and receive inspiration. And mind you, this is not a typical Facebook community where every person who's bought your product is on there. The advice is given by the experts and coaches and not by random strangers, like I said, on any generic Facebook group. And then we have the neurological play schema cards. Now, everything that a child does in the earlier years, it's basically a play schema. So if your child is throwing toys, they are trying to understand how things fly. Children operate from a first principles mindset. So these are play schema cards, which are built on how you develop those neurological schemas in your child. And these are activities that help parents bond with their child through play. There's no DIY, no prep, they're toy-free activities, and they simplify parenting and ensure meaningful moments of connection between the parent and the child. Plus, we offer 100% satisfaction guarantee, which is the confidence of knowing that if an employee is dissatisfied, you can claim a full refund within 90 days for that employee. Now, why this program matters for your organization? Now, offering such an innovative program, it positions your organization as a leader in employee well-being. It helps you attract top talent in a competitive market, and it helps retain skilled employees during a critical life phase. You avoid the significant costs of hiring and onboarding new staff. And parents who feel supported are happier and they're more engaged. And supporting new parents demonstrates your commitment to inclusivity and empathy, improving workplace morale for everyone. And as I said, it is proactive, destigmatized, and a tailored approach that can transform the way your workplace supports new parents and, by extension, your entire organization. Now, imagine this. An employee goes on parental leave or is about to go on one. Instead of feeling anxious about returning to work or unsupported during their new parent caregiving journey, they feel empowered. They know their organization values them and is supporting them to navigate one of the hardest periods of their lives. And with this program, you're giving your employees a village of support that ensures they never feel alone in their parenting journey without interfering in their parenting journey. It's like making a bold statement. We don't just care about your work, we care about you and your family. We prioritize proactive, meaningful support over reactive solutions, and we want to empower our employees to thrive both at home and at work. And this creates better parents, better professionals, and a stronger workplace culture where employees not only benefit, but will take pride in working for a company that truly invests in their holistic well-being. I'm going to bring up the last few sets of questions on Slido at this stage. Ramesh, you're leading. That's amazing. So EY found that companies that supported working parents see reduction in employee turnover by what percentage? %29 reduction in employee turnover. Let's look at the next question. What is the percentage reduction in absenteeism due to increased employee engagement through family-friendly policies and programs?
He's going to give us a toy as a gift.
I'll tell you what you'll get. 41%. Now let's talk about you as HR and how you can go about bringing a change like this. As HR professionals, you are uniquely positioned to be the bridge between employees' needs and the organization's strategic priorities. When it comes to supporting working parents during the critical 0 to 2 year phase, you have the power to nudge key decision makers, which is your CFO or your CEO or ELT, to make a small investment in a small section of your workforce for a short period of time to provide a solution that delivers outsized returns and drives both employee well-being and business success. And here's why you're the best person to do it. Because you have a direct pulse on the employee pain points, and you understand the challenges new parents face better than anyone else in the organization. My firsthand experience was when I was an HRBP and I had so many mothers literally crying in front of me about how hard it was for them. And you as HR are driving the employer brand. So by positioning it as a forward-thinking, empathetic employer, qualities that attract and retain top talent, you are driving the employer brand. Sorry. And you understand the cost of attrition and the cost of inaction because you see firsthand the ripple effects of attrition, burnout, and disengagement. So as an HR, an employee could come to you, a manager could come to you, and you can feel the fatigue yourself. So by leading the charge, what is the difference that will happen? You will position HR as a department or division that drives impactful change and aligns employee well-being with organizational success. And this, like I said, is a workplace challenge that is uniquely high impact and time sensitive. So, because of the sensitivity at which you will bring about this intervention, people will appreciate it more, and that is why the impact will be high. And when you implement a program like this, the trust in HR also rockets sky high. People see HR as an advocate for their needs and not just somebody who does HR related activities, which is predominantly admin. and you demonstrate that HR is a true business partner, driving innovation, retention, and long-term success. Now I'm going to bring up the last question in today's quiz. What percentage of candidates now consider family benefits as a key factor when choosing an employee? Remember, there are more Gen Zs coming into the workforce today. That's a hint. %67% of people in workforce considered that if an organization provides family benefits, they would prefer to join that organization. Let's look at the leaderboard. Ramesh Ranjan, you are the winner of our quiz.
Thank you.
You get bragging rights, Ramesh, to be for being a data-driven HR by being the winner of this quiz.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so that's from me. If you are ready to transform your workforce and position your organization as a leader in employee well-being, especially when it comes to young new parents, feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you for listening to me. I am deeply grateful for your time and engagement. I hope the session was beneficial for you. A few parting thoughts from me. If you are yourself pregnant or you know somebody who could benefit from this, we have a free Prepare for Your Child's Birth Montessori Way course. I will ask Ritika to send the link because I can't click it here. And if you are a parent of older children and need a parenting reset, we are having a challenge starting from next week. Again, I'll ask Ritika to send that to you so you can sign up anytime before Monday, and you'll get a series of 5 emails that will help you just bring some calm to the chaos. That's it from me. I will open the floor for Q&A.
Tripling. This parenting, what is the limit of the child? What is the age limit of the child?
So we are saying if you're an organization who wants to make this investment, then you could put the criteria of parents who have children between 0 to 2 years of age, because that is the hardest. But the reason being is after 2 years, a lot of parents are able to get their head around the challenges. Most children learn to walk and even start talking. So it's easier. Parenting never gets easier to communicate. But until that time, that's the hardest period. And look, you may not want to invest for those 24 months, even 6 months is fine. But that's the entry point that we are recommending, that if somebody is pregnant in your organization, ask them to come. And this is not just for the woman, it's also for the father, because that benefit in turn can get extended to the mother who is pregnant. So, if I have a male employee, but his wife is pregnant or his girlfriend is pregnant, that offer is available to them. So from pregnancy to 2 years of age. I hope that answers your question.
What I was asking you is, outside of the organization, if somebody wants to attend your courses or know more about parenting, is there an age limit for the child, or any parent can attend?
Look, any parent can attend because when you watch those courses, right, there's a lot of new learning that comes out of it, especially because it's all rooted in Montessori philosophy. So short answer, any parent can do it at any stage of their life, but it's more tailored to parents with younger children.
Okay. And somewhere I heard in your presentations, the working mother is stigmatized, if I heard you right.
That is true. There is a lot of stigma. So look, if you're at home, there is stigma that you have left your career, you studied for so many years, and you're sitting at home looking after a baby. And if you go to work, there is that stigma about you left your child at home. I don't think we'll ever solve that problem. Women have to just to live with that mom guilt as well, that they have left their child. There's nothing, at least we can do at this stage, except that more women come out and own the fact that, yes, I want to work and I'm fine with it, or I want to stay at home and I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Should I look for questions in the chat, or will people ask me the questions?
What role does a father have in this whole parenting? Is it just the responsibility of the mother, or
You know that firsthand, Ranjan, a father is equally, if not more important in this journey, because you need two people to look in the same direction when it comes to parenting. So if a father does this course, it will be beneficial for them as well, like the whole program. And they bring in their unique perspective, right? So it's the yin and yang kind of thing that is instrumental in a child's upbringing. So it's very hard to say these are 5 things that a father does. I think in today's day and age, except breastfeeding, a father can do everything.
But then most of the time I see in the corporate world, the focus is more on the women, the maternity benefit and all other things. The
That
men
is
are
correct.
left behind. The men
That
are
is
left
correct.
behind.
Yes, that is correct. Probably in India, nowadays, like at least in Australia, it is called parental leave. It's not called maternity leave. So if the mother, after delivering the child, because right now biologically that's what is possible, chooses to go back to work and the father decides to be the primary carer, they can enjoy all the parental leave benefits that the organization would have otherwise extended to the mother. So by definition, who is the primary carer? And that is the person who gets those benefits, at least in Western countries. But the fact is, it's mostly women. Yeah. But it's mostly women, right, who become the primary carers. So when you look at from a statistic standpoint, it's very few fathers would become primary carers. And it is growing and it's amazing. So, but the fact is, it's in today's day and age, the numbers are tilted towards women.
And we had introduced paternity leave at Schneider so a long time back.
Yeah, and that's why they called it separately as paternity leave, not maternity leave. So there was maternity leave and my paternity, and where parents. I think there was a time when I started as a HR. There was only 3 days, and then it went to 2 weeks. I don't know what it is right now, but like I said, right, for me, I have been on this whole journey. I have been the HR to whom managers have come and complained that somebody went on mat leave and now they can't even find a replacement for that person. And this was the time, and those conversations have not aged well in today's day and time. But I know managers have told their female employees that you should be lucky we kept your job. And I had to tell the manager, you have no right to talk to her like that. And I have mothers complain to me saying we don't feel supported. And I have had people reporting to me who have had children, fathers, and women who've gone through this journey. And I have been that mother who has been in those shoes, literally. So I know firsthand, secondhand, third hand, how hard that period is, and just that right kind of support. Because, in all fairness, we do a driving course when we learn to drive. We do 5 years of education, but we don't do a marriage course before we get into a relationship. We don't do any kind of parenting courses. Even if you read any parenting books, right, that retention from reading is not there. And that's why this is broken up in 8 quarters. So you get timely information, and those webinars keep you grounded during those sessions. So you get that support, because in nuclear families, it's very hard these days to get that kind of support.
Anybody's got any questions?
I'm trying to go to the chat.
Not a question, more of a perspective here. At least today, we see some of the business leaders who've lived overseas. They move back to India into leadership roles. Typically, in such scenarios where somebody's asking for some support, going on maternity leave or coming back from maternity leave, the things, what the hell, man? US things are different. I mean, I've seen myself. I've gone through this process. My wife has gone through this process. Why people in India are looking at this kind of privileges? So I think it's more of a confused mindset at one side, and also at times, some of these benefits being misused, right? So how much ever we have the education part that happens, as Ranjan mentioned earlier, I think it's important that some element of education happens with, or awareness happens with the male employees as well, as much as we try to bring awareness among women employees. One aspect. The other aspect I was thinking was the individual themselves, right? When I say individuals, the couple themselves, rather than having pinning too much hopes on the organization they work in, they should have a support plan built themselves, rather than having a lot of dependency on organizations. I mean, I'm not trying to say that organizations shouldn't have these things built internally, but not every organization is the same. You can't be going and changing organizations, their thought processes. So it's good to have your own inbuilt plan than relying so much on our organization. This is just a perspective from my side.
I 100% agree with that, because when I went through that journey, I did not rely on my organization to do that. And that is true even today. Organizations don't do this. And that is why this is a solution that we are asking organizations to think about, because that's exactly what you're having. It's not a shift necessarily in a perspective, it's the reality. People are now fending for themselves on their own at a time. It's like कुआं खोदना जब आपको प्यास लगी है. So while it's great to say, oh, let's just do that, very few people do it. And all the child related books, right, pregnancy related books, which I know so many women go through that journey where they're reading everything related to their pregnancy, and the moment they hold their child, they're like, what the hell just happened to me? So it's completely different. And when you're in that state of overwhelm, these things are very hard to implement. And that's why we're telling organizations that you do it maybe for 6 months, if not 2 years, or just 1 year, and see how they feel supported. And there is this, and I 100% agree that this has to happen to male employees, which this program caters for. So like I said, while there are many women who are the primary carers, we don't exclude fathers, we don't exclude anybody from somebody who wants to assume a parenting responsibility. So you could potentially adopt a child, you could be from the same sex and decide to be a parent. This is applicable to you because the journey is still the same, irrespective of who or which gender that person is. Thank you. I don't see any questions on the chat, Ritika. I think we're good. But like I said, you have my email and we will put all this information. On a tertiary note, we have the whole business case. If any of your organizations would love to introduce some concept like this, if you're an HRBP, we have the business case to position to your HR head. And if you're the HR head who wants to position this to the ELT, we have the business case for you, including the numbers. All you have to do is replace the numbers with your organization related data, and you will get the ROI, the investment, and whatever ratios that you wish to present to your top management to make this investment.
Thank you so much, Tribli.
Thank you, Ranjan, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I look forward to interacting more on GHRC. I did attend a few sessions after I joined, and I found them extremely helpful, and I hope that people find this session helpful too.
Absolutely, and I think it's a need of the hour. It's a very sensitive topic, and I think we need to sensitize everybody, not just the women, the organization, the male members. And I think your initiative is a great initiative to sensitize people and to prepare people of how to parent. And I sincerely hope that organizations and individuals make the best use of your program. And we look forward to collaborating with you in future.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.
You too.
See
have
you.
a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tribli.
Thank you, Ritika.